Hello boys and girls, it's Mindy here again, bringing my huge biceps together with me. And today I would like to make a video about pronation. I can see that everyone is talking a lot about it. Everyone in arm wrestling communities keeps mentioning pronation all the time, doing pronation lifts, pronation exercises, talking about pronation being very useful, very good. And I'm somehow not really convinced if it's really that important. Simply because I haven't really done a lot of pronation during my trainings, and somehow everyone keeps asking me how do I train pronation, how am I so good at top rolling. And everyone somehow assumes that my hand control and pronation is very dominant, and that's why I keep winning. But I look at it in a little bit different way. So let me try to explain what I mean. Let me bring you guys to the table here. And so pronation is basically the opposites of supination. Supination is going in, pronation is going out, right? There is a muscle here which is responsible for this movement. And let's say I want to top roll, right? I want to be effective at top rolling people, meaning to go over, to attack with your fingers, attack a hand, get a good position, and then maybe finish sideways. So if I just keep, standing in my initial starting position, and then I apply a lot of pronation after the go, it doesn't really do that much. It's very hard to buckle my opponent's wrist by only using pronation. Just because the pronation muscle is, the pronator is not a big muscle. It's quite a small movement, so it's not really effective. I think what's much more effective is the back pressure and the ability to go back while, of course, holding your pronation, holding your hand in a kind of pronated position. So I think instead of focusing that so much on pronation, I would maybe focus a little bit, but mostly still work on the back pressure, because the guy who is attacking, being aggressive, going inside, it's much hard. It is quite easy for him to just jump around you if you are only doing this little pronation movement and not doing any back pressure, right? Meanwhile, if you are applying the back pressure, it's very hard for him to attack your pronator actually. Like, he really has to follow you a lot, and then it's not so easy for him to cup or supinate, since it's so far away from him. Okay, I hope it's somewhat clear. And so the main idea here was to simply tell you guys that I would maybe focus a little bit more on the back pressure, not so much on pronation, because I really haven't focused that much on pronation and I'm still good at top rolling. Another important detail which I would like to mention is that there are many ways to create back pressure. The first one, which seems the most obvious, is of course maybe biceps power while posting a little bit or whatever, just doing this movement with your biceps, right? While it is not a bad thing, much better than only doing pronation, there are other ways how you could create maybe more back pressure. Remember, we always want to use big muscles to be the most efficient, So pronation muscle is super small, not very effective. Biceps is a much bigger muscle, immediately much more effective while going backwards. The trick is, of course, I'm holding my pronator statically, while my biceps will work dynamically. That's how I create a little bit more power, a little bit more back pressure. Now there's another trick. Instead of just doing your biceps, just working with your biceps, you can use your lat muscle, your back muscles, which are even bigger in your biceps. So now you would hold your pronation in place statically, hold your biceps in place statically, try to not open up, and then use your back muscles, your lat, to pull back. This way you are actually able to create even more pressure. And the most advanced thing which I am always using, or at least I try to use as much as I can, is to basically keep everything statically. Again, pronator, biceps, my lat, my back muscles, everything stays in place before we go, and I really focus on loading the muscle already before, and then I move everything together. So basically I'm using my hip to push back a lot. As you can see, nothing is moving, all of the muscles are somehow statically loaded, which gives them quite a lot of power. And then the hip movement allows me to create a lot of back pressure by just moving my whole body backwards. So that's what I kind of try to explain to people, that stop focusing that much about these small muscles like a pronator. Of course you have to make sure your hand is strong and everything is strong, because if one of the upper parts in the chain will fail, the whole movement will most likely fail, so you will open up. But still, somehow the more important idea behind this top rolling movement is still using your bigger muscles, whole body, not really the smaller ones. And let me try to do some training at the same time. I'm actually just creating the setup these days here, and I'm not really sure how should I really make it ready so it's comfortable for me. But I guess it will look similar to this, and I will just keep loading up. But yeah guys, that was the idea. I hope you got something useful out of it, and enjoy your day.